Hello guys, this is Edgaras from SpokenLithuanian.com here with you today. Today we have a second part. We have the second lesson of top 50 nouns in Lithuanian language. Just top 50 nouns that we can use every day, that you can hear in everyday's language. And today we have the second part, like top 25 to top 50. So the last 25 most common nouns in Lithuanian language. Now, if you want more words or more phrases that are used in everyday Lithuanian language, you can find it in my PDF and audio book that I've created. Just enter this link that you can see here on the screen, or you can find the link somewhere around the video and just press on it, join my newsletter, and you will receive the PDF and the audio book directly into your email completely for free. Okay? So if you want more Lithuanian language, be sure to do that, and let's head straight into our lesson. And today, the first word for today is kartas. 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 And that means a time. Not time like time, hours and minutes, but a time, one time. One time would be vienas kartas. Since kartas is a masculine noun, vienas means alone or singular. Vienas kartas, a time. Or just a time that also means kartas. The ending as already reveals to us that it's a masculine noun, and it's a singular, right? A time, kartas. Veikla. Veikla is activity, right? Veikla. It can be any activity that you're doing at this particular moment, and it can also sometimes be like a business activity, like type of business that you're in. Veikla, activity, veikla. By the way, this is a feminine gendered noun. The ending a gives it away for you. Ūkis for now, the first one. Ūkis, we pronounce this one like a long ūkis. I will do a separate lesson for pronunciation, since some of you have already written in the comments that we need a separate pronunciation lesson and a separate lesson for the letters. Okay, so I will be sure to do that. Maybe if I can, I will do it soon, in the upcoming couple of lessons. But ūkis or namų ūkis, that. So the difference between ūkis and namų ūkis. Ūkis is just a farm or a property, right? Ūkis. Basically, it's more or less like a farm. Ūkis. But also, it can be like a property. But then namų ūkis, because namai, it's a plural, always plural word, is like a home, namai, home. It can be like a house, but it's usually a home. My home, mano namai. Namų ūkis means a household. That means that a place where a certain amount of people are living in and sharing, their duties, the money that they spend on everything, on utilities. That is a household, and that is namų ūkis in Lithuanian language. Namų ūkis. Vanduo, very beautiful word, and that is water, just water. Vanduo. When you have this the without the dash, we have the shorter u, but we pronounce it u. But then if we have an o next to it, it becomes an ua. Vanduo, water in this case, right? Vanduo. A masculine noun. Pavyzdys. We have the long Y sound, right? In English, we pronounce it as Y. In Lithuanian, we pronounce it as E, because if we have the one with the dash, we have the I. Pavyzdys. But sometimes when you say it fast, it becomes like a pavyzdys. This one is a little bit shorter than that one. And it's an example. Pavyzdys. An example. pavyzdys, a masculine noun. Now, the word important, of course, it's an adjective, it's not a noun, but in Lithuanian language is either svarbus or svarbi, if we're talking about singular in this case, not plural, because we will have different endings for plural. But svarbus is a masculine, he. Svarbi is a she, important, right? She, for feminine adjective, singular, of course. Important, svarbus, svarbi. Svarbus, svarbi. Svarbus, svarbi. We have the U without the dash because it's svarbus, svarbus. Informacija. Now, that is a Lithuanian word, informacija. And I can assume that you already understand it, right? What kind of word that is. But of course, it's information. Informacija. We have this J, ya, informacija. And because of the ending A, we know that it's a feminine noun. Informacija, information, informacija. Pacientas, masculine. Paciente, another ending for a feminine noun, paciente. Or ligonis, another ending for masculine noun. It could be ligone. You can have also the e. That is a patient, if it's a pacientas, paciente, or just a sick person. Sometimes you can say ligonis. But both of those, work. You can either say pacientas, paciente, or ligonis. It doesn't matter. A patient or a sick person. Pacientas, paciente, ligonis, and also ligone. Without the is, we add the a, very specific sound to Lithuanian language. Ligone, that would be a female patient, right? Female patient. Ranka, a feminine noun, feminine gender noun, and that is a hand or an arm. It's usually, in English language, if we say a hand, we usually mean this part, right? Only the palm usually, right? And if we say an arm, we usually talk about somewhere from the shoulders. But in Lithuanian language, when you say ranka, you also kind of mean like from fingers, to the shoulders. It's the whole this limb you can call ranka, a hand or an arm in English language, but in Lithuanian we have ranka. Dievas, a very important word in any language, and this is our version of the word God. Dievas, masculine gender noun, dievas. Vyriausybė, also, if you remember from the previous lesson, we had Seimas, which is like a parliament. Vyriausybė is a government. Well, we Lithuanians, we like to talk a lot about our parliament and our government. We like to sometimes complain and say not the best words. So you have to know how these words are pronounced if you hear them. Should you hear them, right? So vyriausybė, government. Priemonė. That is an interesting word because it can be a tool, it can be a measure, and it can be a means for something. So if we're talking about physical things, like this pen could be a tool for writing. So that would be priemonė rašymui, rašymas, writing. Priemonė, that can be a tool. But also, for example, threatening somebody could be a good measure of, getting what you want. I couldn't think of a better example, so excuse me for this very, horrific example. So that could be a measure, and it can also be priemonė. So it can be something that is physical, like a tool for writing, and it can also be something that's non-physical, something like more psychological or behavioral. That could be also a measure, and that would be priemonė also in Lithuanian language. Priemonė, a ending, and that is a feminine gender noun. Miestas, miestas, that would be a city, miestas, miestas, a city. Žodis, žodis. We also have this specific, it's not a Z, it's, we have this little like dash kind of a check mark thing. It's ž, not z, but ž, žodis. So you don't say zodis, you say žodis, žodis, žodis. And that's a word. That's like a little bit of a meta thing, but yeah, it's a word. Žodis. Projektas, projektas, projektas. I would encourage you to guess, what can projektas mean? Projektas, projektas. It sounds a little bit similar to something like a project, for example. Projektas, a project, project. It's just that in English language, when we have this letter, we usually use it as J, project, to project. But in Lithuanian language, it's ja, project. Project in English, projektas, projektas in Lithuanian language. Think of the sound as if you wanted to say, you remember this thing we used to play with when you just drop this little circle with a rope, with a little small rope, like you would drop it and then it comes back. It's called a yo-yo. So that's yo-yo. That's a very similar sound, almost the same sound. Project, yo, project. Project, projektas, projektas. That's the difference. Project, projektas. Project, projektas. We kind of soften it a little bit in Lithuanian language. Respublika, respublika. Also, I would assume you can kind of maybe guess what this word means. Of course, it's republic, republic, republic. Respublika, respublika. We add an additional sound over here. We have this S sound, as if you would be saying Respublic, right? We in Lithuanian, we say Respublika, republic in English. Respublika, respublika. Kalba, kalba. That's a language or a speech. It's the same word. So it can be, French, Italian, Lithuanian, English. That's a language or a tongue, if you were. And it can also mean a speech that somebody is ready to give. For example, to write your own speech. Pasirašyti kalbą. Pasirašyti kalbą. We changed the case over there. Kalba would have a with this like a dash of some sort. I will explain it in the future lessons. I don't want to bog your mind at this moment with too much. We will go to the to the letters, as I said, and to the sounds of the Lithuanian language, and then we move on from there. Kalba, a language or a speech. Okay. Kultura, kultura. Again, we have the U with the dash. Kultura, kultura. Of course, I can also kind of assume that you're guessing the word correctly. It's culture. It's culture. But it can sometimes mean manners as well. Like asmeninė kultūra, that would be personal manners. Something very close to it. You can use it like that. Although it's not that common. Of course, culture means kultūra. That's the main meaning, the main translation that we would have here. Sąlyga, sąlyga. Now you see this A with this very specific symbol over here, right? In Lithuanian language, we call it nosinė, nosinė. If we wanted to translate the word, that would mean a handkerchief. So we call this handkerchief in Lithuanian language, but I will explain to you in future lessons how to call it and how to use it. But just sąlyga is a condition, or a term. Condition or a term is sąlyga. Sąlyga. Basically, what this little thingy does is it elongates the word. Sąlyga. 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 You see, this one is long and this one is much shorter. I'm not saying sąlyga. Now, if I had this one over here, which would be completely incorrect, I could say it like that, but no. I only need to elongate this one. Sąlyga. Sąlyga. Aukštas. Aukštas is a story or a floor. It depends on where you live and how you use the English language. Aukštas. Aukštas. Aukštas is a story or a floor. Aukštas. Now, what is weird about this word is that if you stress it a little bit differently, and instead of aukštas, you say aukštas. Aukštas, that's like an adjective for tall masculine version, right? Like a tall guy. Aukštas vyras. A tall guy, right? But you have to change the stress a little bit. But for now, learn it as a noun. Aukštas. Not aukštas, but aukštas. Aukštas. A story or a floor. Medžiaga. Medžiaga. Medžiaga, that of course is material or a substance. Material or a substance. So if it's some sort of like a material that you make clothes from, then it's a material. If it's more of a chemical substance, then you use it as a substance. It all depends on the on the substance of the sentence and on the particular case that you need to use it in. But know that medžiaga can be both material or substance, okay? Būdas. Būdas is a way or a manner, like a manner of speaking. Kalbėjimo būdas, that would be in Lithuanian language. Kalbėjimo, speaking. It can also be a way, but I'm not talking about a way, a way through the woods. I'm talking a way of doing something. For example, a way of working. Darbo būdas, that would be. Darbo būdas. Of working. Darbo būdas, way, a way of working. Now, this is a way to use būdas. Būdas. Again, we have you with this dash over here. Būdas. Right in English language means not right or left, but right, correct. Is teisingas or teisinga if we're talking about singular in English, in Lithuanian language, I'm sorry. Teisingas arba teisinga. Teisingas or teisinga. Teisingas, teisinga. It also can mean correct in Lithuanian language as well. Teisingas, teisinga. So the word kelias, now that is another translation of the word away, because now I'm talking about the actual way through the woods or, a road of some sorts. Now that is kelias. When we're talking about not a way of doing something, or a way of being, but we're talking about actual physical road of some sort or a way. Now that is kelias. Okay? Because that one was būdas. But this one, when we're talking about physical thing, is kelias. Kelias. Big is didelis, didelė. It can also mean huge. Didelis is a masculine, didelė is a feminine. Okay, I assume that you kind of already trying to guess these endings a little bit. You know that if we have either a or a, this sound, that it's a feminine ending. Big, didelis, didelė, or huge or enormous, whatever. Didelis, didelė. Sprendimas. That's a very nice word. And it's a solution or a decision. both of those can work. If it's some sort of like an outcome of situation, then this is a solution, sprendimas. But if we're talking about somebody has to make a decision, it can also be sprendimas, right? Decision, sprendimas. So both of those work. Sprendimas, sprendimas, sprendimas. Good. Good is geras or gera. Geras masculine, gera feminine. Good, geras, gera. Geras, gera. Knyga. Knyga. A book. Knyga. 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 Not knyga. Knyga. We have elongated word, elongated letter. Knyga, a book. Problema. Problema. I think you also can kind of guess, what this word means, because a problem is a problem in many languages, So problema, a problem, a problem, a problem. Okay, guys, so with this word, we are finishing our lesson. We're finishing our second part of top 50 Lithuanian language nouns. And I hope that with this lesson, you kind of got this grasp, at least a little bit, of how these top 50 nouns look like, how you can pronounce them, maybe just a little bit how you can use them, at least in the simplest forms. I hope it was useful. So just if you want more words, if you want more phrases, as I've told you in the beginning of the lesson, be sure to download my free PDF and audiobook that I've created. I think it will be a huge help to you if you're just, starting to learn Lithuanian language. Even if you started a little bit, I think it will help you maybe learn these basic phrases that you need in everyday Lithuanian language. If you have any questions, if you have any suggestions, please be sure to write them in the comments. I will read through all of them, and I will try to, make my future lessons as helpful to you as they can possibly be. So thank you for watching. Thank you for being with me in this lesson, and I will see you in the future lessons. Bye.